Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another special episode. We call it the Spotlight Series. Today, we're going to talk about something that it's happening, but it's not something that is frequently being discussed, in the church and, our society. It's about church hurts, and I know that every one of us at one point in our lives has gone through church hurts. We've been hurt by some people in the church, by pastors, by leaders, and maybe we've been silenced. We've never really gotten the chance to speak about it, to talk about it, and you may have questions or you may be confused about what to do. So with me on the set today, she is a business tycoon. She is multi-talented. She's a woman of many talents. The typical Proverbs 31 woman. She is a professional hairstylist. She has a hair brand known as DOREEN. She is also she has a crochet business. So if you have like summer wears, dresses, two-piece, if that's your vibe, she's very good at that as well. And then she's also a founder and a CEO of an NGO for children. It's called the DOREEN Care Initiative. So ladies and gentlemen, join me and welcome my best friend, my personal person, Doreen Joe. Hey.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. I just realized I have so many things.
Yeah. And today is the right day for you to actually, talk about it. Pour it out.
Oh, okay. I was referring to the introduction.
Okay. I thought you meant the topic itself.
No.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start with a couple of questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So for those that maybe this is the first time they are hearing about it, they may not have known what church hurt is, or maybe they've even experienced it self and they don't know what to call it. So, from your own experience, what does church hurt actually look like, in real life?
Okay. So in layman's term, I am just going to say that you see the name church and the hurt. Those are offenses that happen in the church. And I know that sometimes when people say offenses, they don't expect you to use that word when you're referring to anything that has to do with the church. But these are things that happen in the church, toxic things that happen in the church that might have hurt your feelings because you're human, and most definitely you'd be hurt. So yes.
Okay. So do you have like examples of those kind of things that happen in church? They call it church hurt.
Okay. Sometimes it could be something small, something big. There are two types of church hurt. I feel like people only focus on just one part. So I'm just going to talk of the first one, then I go to the second one.
Okay.
So the first one could be people who are new to church, but then they get judged. You already see that as it is like that. So there are some people that enter the way they are. I remember being a child and in church, a teenager rather, in church, and I remember a girl wore trousers to church. Now for that church, it looked like trousers were somewhat forbidden at that time. So I saw the way everybody looked at her in church. They judged her immediately. Now she came to a place where she felt like, okay, this person wanted maybe rescue, she needed help. But from that instant of that whole judgment, do you think that someone like that will come back the second time to that church? Because I asked myself the question as a teenager. And I told myself that if I went somewhere and I was judged the first time, it would be hurtful to me, especially if it's somewhere that the Bible actually says, come as you are. And you preached to me and told me, come as I am. And I came that way to you. Even if I had tattoos or piercings or whatsoever you consider as not normal in your service, right? But I came that way and I'm getting judged. I feel like most people will block out from it. So that's the first part. I might not have a name to call it exactly. Then the second part, which I feel like it's general, which I feel like a lot of people have experienced, is when the people in the church have, maybe they've gone through leadership misconduct. or abuse of power, or most times like just hypocrisy, could be shaming, could be a form of conditional love,
manipulation,
could be could be weaponizing the scripture or performance-driven kind of faith. It could be by rumors or gossips. It could be just like maybe abandonment. Like there are different ways, like, you know, abandonment in times of like maybe crisis with oneself. You feel like, oh, when it was a call for this, everybody needed this, but it was my turn and so far nobody appeared. It could be the whole us versus them mentality, because sometimes we fight ourselves as churches where we feel like anyone outside the church wall is not so the church heart comes in so many different ways. And I think I've touched on a lot so far.
Yeah, I agree with what you said, because it's very broad. We can't begin to like individually call the names of each of these things, but you've just like summarized what it looks like in everyday, you know, in our churches. You know, when you said that part where you said talked about doing something for everybody, and then when it's your own turn, it's like nobody's there for you. I've experienced that one personally. Like you're all there committed, you know, going out. Not that we're doing it for people, we're doing it for God. But we're still in a family, right? Church is like a household of family. So I expect that, okay, the same way I love and care for other people, I should also be loved and cared for, right? So you know, that and many more are like examples of, you know, the kind of church hurt that people experience. So now to the second question, you've personally experienced church hurt, right? Okay, so you may not want to go into details, but as much as you are willing to share, what was that season like for you emotionally and spiritually?
Okay, I would say I've experienced it twice on different occasions. The first time when it happened, because I already knew, I was very aware about what church hurt is before it got to me, because I saw it happen as a child. I grew up in a home where my mom is a pastor, so I did see this like coming from another direction, like pastor hurt. So for me, I watched her and I saw the whole experience, so I already knew deep down in my heart that the church is a hospital. And I think this analogy helped me so much. The church is a hospital and there are different sick people. Some people are receiving treatment and they are not responding to the treatment, to be honest. While some are responding, while some are literally like, you know, they are responding to the treatment. Some are relapsing, like it's a back and forth kind of situation. So this analogy had helped me to give grace. But then I felt like I also wanted to come out of it. That was the thing. Because sometimes you feel like you can change a system. You can if you're inside the system. But for the situation I was in, for instance, I couldn't change the system. And I felt like I was scared to throw people under the bus, because I was a teenager. The first time I experienced church hurt, I was a teenager. I continued from 16. I think it happened when I was like 16 years down to like my early 20s, like I think maybe like 20 or 21. So I experienced it like straight without saying a word. And I got to the last part of it where I was like, okay, I can't continue like this, because I realized that every time I go to church, I'm scared. I'm like, what would I do this time? What would they say I have done this time? So it was like a back and forth situation for me. And I just asked myself that, coming to your father's house and you're always scared, is this something that your father would actually want from you genuinely? Your father on earth here would not want that, not to talk of your father in heaven. And talking about this, there's also something that, because I feel like it's a little bit controversial when people talk about churches and church hurt, they tell you, don't change your church, because if someone offends you in school, would you change your school? But this is what builds a toxic community in a way. And I'll explain. Are they right in a way? Yes. But also it builds the toxic culture as well. Because in school, I remember being a child as well, and my parents did not like the method of teaching from one of the schools I went to. I got changed. My school changed like 4 times. I went to 4 different secondary schools.
Wow.
It wasn't good. It wasn't great because you were leaving people behind. But my parents wanted the best for me. They did not want me to remain in a place where there was one of the schools I was going to. They realized that the teachers were reducing in the school. So one teacher is taking probably like 4 subjects or 5 subjects. So they realized it at the end of term, and instantly my mom is like, no, we can't be doing this. I got changed. In some schools it's normal, but it wasn't normal from where I was coming from. So I got changed because they wanted the best for me. And I'm going to put this analogy to churches. Yes, there are some times that some things happen when you have to like let go. Because the thing is, for toxic environments, sometimes you have to, for things to change rather, you have to change it from inside out. But there are also places that I feel like you are done there. And yes, you need a fresh, you need breath of fresh air. You need to breathe another kind of air. You need to see how it's done somewhere else. You know, sometimes you can go somewhere else and come into wherever you are and change whatever narrative it is there. But you need to see how it's done outside too. You need to, there's sometimes that the Holy Spirit will tell you, okay, do this, do this, do this. Doesn't mean that you're entirely gone. But there are also sometimes that you need to stay, watch, clean the tears, and move on. But in my case, it wasn't that. It wasn't watch, clean the tears, and do that. Because for one, I am not going to lie, I was scared of those people for one. They had, like I said, they were my leaders from like 16 to like 20. And a lot of things happened, and I didn't feel like it was going to be great to throw them under the bus to the head pastor at that time. So I kept to myself, and this thing was eating me deeply. I was very non-functional. For someone that was very functional, I became very like non-functional in a way, because I realized that at the point I was only going to church to serve. Like when I mean serve, I wouldn't listen. It was activity. It was activity. So I noticed it and I had to withdraw. And that was when I said, I asked myself, will I come to church? Will I go to my father's house? And I'm always scared. I was only doing the things just because it was my job description. Let's put it like that. So I just had to do it and, get it over with. But deep down, I wasn't getting anything. I tried so much. I prayed. Do you know, I even spoke to one of the leaders a while ago about it. This is how I feel. This is what is happening. So it's not even the situation of I kept quiet or I was mute. I spoke about it, but it didn't look like it worked. And things just kept on getting worse. And deep down in my heart, I knew that there was no way I would stay and receive that way. So I think I needed to step out. But I never went out of, because I think your question is surrounding how did it affect me spiritually, right? Then how, yes, it did not affect me in a way, but it affected me in a way. I know that that's very two-sided, but I'll explain. I knew that it wasn't God and it wasn't his intention. I was very well aware about that. And I knew that the devil could also use things like that to disrupt somebody. But what it disrupted was my service, because I became fearful of service. Because it was from the form of service and being too into depth of these things. That's why it happened. But also, I'm also reminded that there are places, because we are all humans, we grew up differently. You're going to have little issues with people. It's not going to be straightforward and all. But I think I wanted to do things differently, and I wanted to start all over again in my case. So I reminded myself of these things. The church is a hospital. You have to just keep going, know God for yourself. And I think I was also at that point where I really wanted to know the scriptures for myself, not what my pastor told me. So it was a perfect time for me to come out into another I don't know, I needed to experience something else. I got to see things differently. Let's put it like that.
Wow, that must have been a lot for you, from 16 to 20 years, holding that burden. Wow. Okay, I think that even answers the next question I wanted to ask, because the question is, why do you think church hurt pushes people to leave the church? And you've already said that there are some kind of church hurt that you can actually stay, observe, and then, heal from it and move on. And then there's some, like your own case, where you just had to come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think it just depends on the severity of the church hurts, like, the kind of thing that was done towards you, how bad it was. So, like you said, you had to ask yourself some questions like, would my dad be comfortable with me being here, and serving him like this,
Yeah.
And then after asking yourself those questions, you just had to leave. Okay, so the next question now would be, looking back now to the church hurt you experienced in the past, what really helped you? Because, let me ask, in the 2 occasions where you had church hurt, did you leave the church on both occasions?
Okay, for one, I left for the both of them, but it doesn't mean that I wasn't going, like, maybe I was angry or I did not visit or something like that.
Okay.
And for the both of them, I spoke about it, right, to whoever it is at the end of the day. I spoke about it.
That was after you left?
I think for the second one of the reasons why I would say I left was because I left the area.
Okay.
I left the area, so it was like it was just a ripe opportunity, let's put it like that.
Okay.
So it was just off for me. But aside that, what that happened, there were other reasons why I felt like it was time to, like, move on from it.
Okay, so during those period, what helped you to stay grounded? Because, see, people can leave church like you did, and they can just say, you know what, because of this thing that happened to me, I don't believe in God anymore. And they just, like, seclude themselves. They stop going to church. They don't believe in church again because of the hurt that has been done to them. But now, for you, in that season where you had to, like, leave, was there any particular scripture or any lesson or any moments that really helped you to, like, shift your perspective about it, that, in that period while you were healing eventually?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say there's a statement you made earlier when people say they don't need God anymore after they feel hurt. I told myself the same thing, that I could choose the path of saying, you know what, I'm closing up myself. I am never going to church again. Because I did try. I tried again and again and again. I proved myself. But what I would say helped me was that I already knew. I said in the beginning that I already knew that, first of all, the church is a hospital.
Okay.
And it's people. We make up the church. We are the church.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to like change it from inside out to what God wants us to look like at the end of the day, until we look like Him, until we begin to act like Him, because He sees us as perfect, and that is what we are, but we have to walk to that point as well. What made me still put my head in it was the fact that a lot of people cannot keep getting hurt without change. If you've gotten hurt before, you know that you know where the shoe hurts better than any other person that had not experienced the pain of the tight shoe or something like that. So what I had in mind at that time was, I've experienced this and I want people to feel safe in church. But how would I make people to feel safe in church if I'm outside of the church?
Exactly.
And I knew I needed to forgive myself. First of all, I needed to forgive myself. I needed to forgive the people, the situation that happened. Because when I say forgive myself, I blamed myself for a lot. I blamed myself for opening up to people. That's why I said forgive myself. But I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive the people. And then I had to fix my eyes on God. And I would say during that period, because even before these things, I would join, like, I have like an online church.
Yeah.
I would join online services, and I know they say, yes, you have to fellowship with the brethren and all, but I had an online service which the church does not exist where I stay. So I had to just continue like the online service. I had to make sure that I was
Stay connected.
Connected. I was speaking to God, like having conversations with God. I was reading my Bible, and I'm not exactly 100% there, if I'm honest, but I'm trying my best, and I'm letting God to also lead me, because I do need to still be in a fixed church. I still need to be in a fixed church. But while I'm working on myself, and God is working in my heart and myself, because I still have the whole fear, what if, or this or that. I still have like my doubts. While I still know that God is king, and I can't remove him out of my life. I still have to look forward and know that most of these people too, it's not their intention. We're all raised differently, so it's me giving grace as well. We're all raised differently. They knew things differently, and the only way we can stop most of these things is from inside out, not from outside. We are one, so we have to work on it by ourselves. And I think that's one of my intentions, because sometimes we go through experiences not for ourselves. We go through these experiences for other people not to go through them again. The reason why Jesus died on the cross for us is so that we don't have to face any of those things. He paid it all so that we don't have to pay it all at all. So I think if we're trying to be like God, if we're trying to be like Christ, then we might as well, do the things that we can.
Wow, that's so profound. Like, you've said so many, beautiful things. And one of the important things you just said, it just reminds me of the scripture where it says, God comforts us in our troubles, so that, when people get in the same trouble too, we get to comfort them as well. So the reason we go through certain experiences or church hurts is so that, people, definitely you'll not be the last person. There will be other people who will be hurt by the church, for you to help them feel safe, right? To help to comfort them and everything. So it's very profound. And then that mindset thing you talked about, knowing that, having at the back of your mind that people in church are not perfect. It's just like any other gathering. If you go to maybe an event, a conference, other associations, we have different associations. The church is just like, I don't say it's just like an association, but I'm just trying to simplify it to say they are not different people, yet we are still the same ordinary, imperfect humans, right? So there will definitely, people are there who would hurt you. Like you said, some are receiving treatment, some are not responding to treatment, stuff like that. So I'm glad that this experience did not change the way you saw God, or it did not affect your relationship with God, right? You still held on, you still stayed connected while you left that environment that was toxic to you. Okay, so now I think that this will be like just to wrap it up, right? Healing from, I know you've mentioned something like forgiving yourself, forgiving the people that hurt you, healing from church hurt. In case maybe some people are listening and they're currently experiencing church hurt, what would you say to them? How would you want to encourage them? What would you tell them to do to actually heal and get over it?
Okay, so I would say talk to God. It sounds very cliche.
Yeah.
It sounds very cliche when someone says talk to God. But genuinely, when I say talk to God, I don't mean speak in tongues. I mean if it means for you to put a chair in front of you and visualize God sitting down there, have a conversation with God. God heals in ways that we do not know and we do not understand. It could be the littlest thing. When I was struggling with the whole church thing at the beginning, I remember after I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm closing up myself. I still ended up, I was trying to look for another church that, I could flow with. And I went to other churches. I remember one of the churches I entered, what made me stay, funny enough, was a child.
Hmm.
It was a child.
Wow.
The child, her mom, she was like some months old, and her mom was in the choir.
Okay.
There was nobody to like carry her and all. And I took it as a responsibility at that point that, you know what, you see this girl, the mother will serve, and I will carry this girl while that mother serves, because that's my own service. I took it like that. That was a healing point for me. And a lot of people, their healing points are different. For me, there were times where deep down I just felt like I'm just going to church. But slowly it became a thing of, yeah, we are here. It was healing for me. It came out from, I'm going to carry this child and make sure that her mother serves too. I'm going to serve. Me, myself, I am going to serve.
Yeah.
And that helped me, but it was conversations with God. It was, should I do this or not? Okay, tell me, is this okay to do? Okay, if you cannot take simple instructions, maybe God tells you move left and you're like, no, I'm moving right. You won't be able to like discern properly. So it starts with the little things as well.
Yeah.
And I would say to whoever that is listening, if you've been through church hurt, God's intention is not to hurt you. And as much as we call it church hurt, we are the church.
Yeah.
We are the church. So I'm sorry you got hurt. And I'm sorry no one apologized to you. I'm sorry you were blamed for something you did not do. I'm sorry, you know, the people in charge, the leadership body acted the way they did towards you. I'm sorry that nobody actually seemed like they cared when you cared more for people. God's intention was not for that to happen. I'm sorry they were not aware of whatever they did to you and they just seemed to brush it off. That was never God's intention in the beginning towards you. And I'm sure most of them, if they knew better, they would act better. But they do not know any better. So since you know better, you can change the narrative. Because it starts with you and it starts with me. Yeah.
Wow. Listening to this alone, it's already like administering some kind of healing to my spirit. You know, when you started apologizing, and I'm sure that every other person who listens would really find some healing and closure from this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts about church hurt. I believe that anyone who has experienced this or is still experiencing this and listens to this will be able to find, you know, some nuggets, some truth and wisdom on how to navigate that season of their life.
I think I don't know if I said it out straight, but I want to add that irrespective of the hurt, just fix your eyes on God. Don't stop. It's the pain. Tell God, this thing is painful. There are sometimes God will tell you, go back there, go back. There's something to be learned. But there are sometimes that, yes, some days off. It's okay. But when you fall, you rise again. You keep going until you get to your destination. So, it's in His word. You would find it. Him himself, if he was betrayed by people, by men, if Jesus was betrayed by men, who are you? Who are you? They will betray you. The betrayal has not even started. You have not started. But count it all joy. You know, the experiences I have, to be honest, I don't feel bad about them. You know, when they say count it all joy, when I'm explaining it to someone, it might seem, I might have some emotions to it, but I'm glad it happened because I know what to do better. I know how to change the narrative. I know what not to do and what to do. And I think this had made me more open to actually listen to what other people are going through, to what, other experiences in the church and not to pay a blind eye. And if you see anything in church, speak up. Speak up. If you say, oh, they're not going to hear me, nobody's going to speak up. At least you spoke. Sow the seed. Let the Holy Spirit water it. Something is going to happen. Speak up. Because it starts with us. You can't be in a church where you see something going on and you just turn a blind eye to it. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Jesus would never pay a blind eye to something when he sees it happening. He would never. He stood up for what was true and what was just. So if we're trying to be like him, why can't we do that in that way?
Wow. Wow. As you just said it, I just remembered the experience I had then when I was in school. Church hurt as well by a pastor, a leader in the church. And I never really got to speak up about it because I was scared. I was afraid. What would they say? I know I was not the only person. I'm not the first person that's happened to, and I was not going to be the last person it happened to. But I was like, no, this is not right. Why should I just keep quiet and not talk about it? But I couldn't speak up because I was scared. I'm like, who do I talk to? Am I going to be shamed for it? Would they actually take the correct action, or they would just turn a blind eye? I was just scared of the unknown. And at the end of the day, I kept quiet, and that whole thing just passed. And I think it's very important that we don't turn a blind eye, like you said. It's always good to speak up. Speak up, not just for you alone, for other people as well that may go through the same thing. It's just good for us to speak up. And like you said, Jesus was not a mediocre person. He never tolerated rubbish. So even in the Bible, we could see where people were selling in the house of God, and you see how Jesus just carried rope and was everybody get out, just chasing everybody out of the temple, because he does not tolerate that kind of thing in his Father's house. So that kind of thing. So when we see something that is happening in church, it's not the norm, it shouldn't be the right thing, I think we should also learn to speak up about it. That's very powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All right, I think this will bring us to the end of today's conversation, because if we go on and on and on, we'll stay here for 1 hour and we will not stop talking about it, because we have several examples, several experiences, different things about church hurt. But I hope that this couple of minutes has been able to administer hope and healing to somebody out there who's listening. So my love, my best friend, thank you so much for sharing this with me. Thank you for being vulnerable.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And to everyone who has listened so far, I hope that you've been blessed by this. If you've had similar experience in the past, do well to let me know in the comments and share about it. Until I come your way again, please stay rooted in God. Bye.